More than 10 million votes have already been cast in key battlegrounds, and with Election Day less than a week away, both candidates visited multiple states yesterday in a single day, including Wisconsin, where you won't be surprised by this. The race, it's basically tied. We've been hearing that a lot lately. Vice President Kamala Harris hoped to put the focus back on her message of national unity and middle-class tax cuts after a gaffe, you could call it, by President Biden that former President Donald Trump has tried to capitalize with a photo op on a garbage truck with his own name on it.
I can tell you who the real garbage is, but we won't say that. And Joe Biden should be ashamed of himself if he knows what he's even doing. And she should be ashamed because she shouldn't let him do it. She's the vice president, but I assume she's acting as the president. She should never have let that happen.
We've got Nancy Cordes and Caitlin Huey-Burns following each side of the campaign. But Nancy, let's start with you in Madison, Wisconsin. A beautiful city, love it. How is this playing out for Harris on the campaign trail? And what was her message there last night?
Well, Adriana, Harris kind of ignored the whole garbage truck scene. She didn't bring it up at her rally here in Madison last night. She was really much more focused on trying to appeal to young voters. This is a college town, as you know, University of Wisconsin, Madison. This county provides 10% of all the votes in the state, Dane County. And so she made this appeal directly to young voters, arguing that she is better on reproductive rights. That's a huge issue for young voters. Talking about how she likes that young voters are impatient for change. And the campaign itself pulling out all the stops, bringing in big name acts like Gracie Abrams and Mumford and Sons and members of the National to perform, because while young voters do lean left, they're also the least reliable voters. And so the campaign wanted to do something that would entice the students to this arena and keep them fired up through Election Day.
And Nancy, Harris had to pause last night, right, when pro-Palestinian protesters started chanting. Let's play that.
And we know we have an opportunity hey, you know what? Listen, we all want the war in Gaza to end and get the hostages out as soon as possible. And I will do everything in my power to make it heard and known. And everyone has a right to be heard, but right now I am speaking.
Nancy, what was that moment like for Harris and the crowd in the room?
Well, Harris gets interrupted by protesters on this very issue at almost every single rally she does, and sometimes more than once. But she doesn't always respond the way she did last night, going right after the issue. And that's by design. Again, we're in a college town. The humanitarian situation in Gaza is very animating for young voters. They are very upset about it, and she knows that. So she wanted to show them that she shares those concerns, but then took back the mic and said, hey, I'm the one speaking here, which, as you saw, got a lot of applause from this young crowd. Tony?
All right, Nancy, thank you very much. Appreciate it.